In terms of the ownership categories, when we look at different categories of ownership, we find that as a result of these contracts and exchange, we could end up with three situations. One is that you are the owner of the asset, owner of a debt, or owner of the usufruct, right to benefit. So for example, let's say we come together and I want to sell my car to you. So now I'm the owner of the asset and you are the owner of your money. So we, in the contract of sale, we would exchange these things. But for example, for the argument, say, let's say I'm giving you my car on what we call murabaha, which is a deferred credit sale, where you are paying me in installments in future. So I give you the car, and as owner of the car, I'm exchanging that ownership for some other ownership. In this case, that is the ownership of a debt. So now you owe me, let's say, $2,000 in 5 months. So I'm giving you ownership of the car. You are immediately owner of the car, and I'm immediately owner of a debt. So now between me and you is a debt. You owe me the debt. If I was leasing that car to you, you would then be the owner of the usufruct or the right to benefit from that car for that specified period. If a person owns the asset, he also gets ownership of its usufruct, but not the other way around. So we would say that usufruct is not same as ownership of the assets itself. Usufruct is given for a specified period, while ownership does not relate to time. So you cannot say you are the owner of this asset for 3 years. But you can say you can lease this asset and you can be the owner of the usufruct for the 3 years. Let's put this in the more context with one simple question. Let's say that I'm renting a house from you. Am I the owner? So obviously I'm renting the house. I'm not the owner. You are the owner. You have the ownership of the asset. Are you the owner? Yes, you are the owner. And usually when we ask this in the class, we ask another question, which is who has the full ownership of the house? And this is a time when we ask students to reflect what they have learned in terms of transfer of ownership and so on, different categories, and what the question is actually asking. In this case, it's a trick question. The trick here is to understand what do we mean by full ownership. The question is designed to test whether we understood that full ownership is a different concept. So for example, to drive that point, we would say, can the owner of the house walk into the house that you are renting now? And of course, answer is no. Just because someone is the owner of the house, once it's rented, you cannot walk in. Okay, so if you cannot walk into your own house when it is rented out, are you full owner? Or if you live in the house you're renting, you cannot do some major renovation in the house without permission of the owner. So you are also not the owner. So here the test was about the word full. And in this case, no one is the full owner. One party owns the right to use it, which is usufruct. Another party owns the building or the asset itself.